Hello. Can anybody hear me?
Hello. Hi, Krishanu. I can hear you.
Oh, Mani, you are already there. Yeah, I can see now. But I don't know why my camera is not working till now. Yeah. So, Mani, I'm not entirely sure. How is this going to work? Will you introduce me, or shall I just start?
You can start. Otherwise, I'm introducing you to. There are 33. Should we wait for 1-2 minutes or we can start?
Oh, not all of them have joined. All right, no issues.
34 have joined.
Is Dean coming?
No, he won't.
Okay, that's good. So it's me and you, right?
Right.
Or basically me. Yeah.
Yes, only you. I
Uh,
will
uh,
introduce you.
okay. You are all right, right?
Yeah, I'm fine now.
Okay, good. All right. Then let me, meanwhile, try to figure out why my camera is not working anyway.
Okay, fine. So we can start by 11:08.
Yeah,
We can wait
all
for
right.
another 3 minutes and we will
Yeah,
start.
sure, sure.
Good morning, everyone. Today we have Professor Krishanu Karmakar, who holds a Ph.D. degree in Public Policy from Department of Public Management and Policy, Andrew Young School of Public Policy Studies, Georgia State University, and the Ivan Allen College, Georgia Institute of Technology. His research interest covers change and dynamics of public policy, tax and government expenditure policies, and fiscal federalism. His research has been published both internationally and in India in Economic and Political Weekly. His teaching interests include quantitative research methods, public economics and finance, theories of policy process, and philosophical and issues of economics and other social sciences. Prior to JSGP, he had been faculty at the Department of Managerial Sciences, JMAC Robinson College of Business of Georgia State University, and he has also worked at National Institute of Public Finance and Policy, which is called as NIPFP, New Delhi. I welcome you, Krishanu. Now you can proceed with the class.
All right. Thank you, Mani, for such a kind introduction. And very good morning to you and to MAPP 2020. Um, just to confirm, Mani, I think you guys can hear me, right? Because I don't think my camera is working till now.
Yes, we can hear you, Krishanu.
Okay, good. All right. So let me first share this presentation with you all. Just a minute. Where is the presentation thing now? Earlier, yeah, got it. So it's an interesting introduction to the program and interesting situation, of course, where the first class or first session I'm having with the students and I can't see anyone. And in future, if I meet any of you on the street, probably I will, at least at the end of first semester, I will not know that you are my student. Anyway, what can we do? Okay. All right. Mani, can you see my screen, the
Yes, we
presentation?
can see the slides of role of
Okay.
quantitative
Okay,
methods.
great. So this session is supposed to be about talking a little bit about what is the importance of quantitative methods and data analysis in public policy as part of this pre-semester training, immersion, and general engagement program that we have instituted this time because of this peculiar scenario that we are facing. So welcome to all of you to this session. Um, Mani has already introduced me in quite detail, so I will not get into too much into this slide. So, yeah, my name is Krishanu Karmakar, and I'm an assistant professor and assistant dean of executive education in JSGP. As Mani pointed out, I have a PhD in public policy from the Georgia Institute of Technology and Georgia State University. And prior to that, I have two masters in economics, one from Georgia State University and one from Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. In the past, I have taught statistics and data analysis, which I'm teaching again this semester, and I teach in every semester this sequence of courses: applied econometrics 1 and 2, and also during the spring semester I teach applied public finance to BA economics students. In the past, till 2018 batch, I also taught the introduction to public policy. My research interest is public finance and budgeting. My and Also public policy process a little bit, and anything to do with data excites me. So that's all about me. And most likely, you guys have already seen my picture in the school website, but otherwise, that's how I look. So in case you guys see me, just say a hi on the street. All right. Now, you have come here to study public policy. The public policy has many areas. It's a collection of different policy arenas. Some of you might be interested in the area of poverty and development. Some of you might be interested in energy, education, health, water, gender topics, gender discrimination, gender violence. Some of you might be interested in environment. Some of you also might be interested in human rights. So I don't know yet, but I will actually send you guys Google form very soon before the first class itself, starting in September, about asking you about your interest areas. But right now I do not know. But these are probably some of the areas that some of you are interested in. There may be many other areas, of course. Now, if these are the areas that inspires you, that interests you, that has motivated you to study public policy, then maybe these are some questions that also motivates you. For example, how many poor people are there in India, or what percentage of Indian population is poor, living below poverty line? uh, what proportion of women face violence? What proportion of women face violence at home? What proportion of women face violence at workplace or outside their home? What type of violence is most common? Government of India has been working or has started this Swachhata initiative. So in last 5 years, has there been any change in open defecation practices? And if none of these four questions inspires you, then at least these questions should motivate you. What might help you to get an internship or job? So the point is that irrespective of which particular question actually interests you or motivates you, if you try to answer any of these questions, you can see that you are talking about a number or some numbers. It may be in terms of percentage, it may be in terms of just a count of something, or it may be a number um, measured in some unit. Uh, so no matter what interests you in public policy, the moment you try to talk about public policy, or the moment you try to talk about public policy problem, what you need to establish that something is a problem. Something is a problem for the public. And that can be established only if you use some numbers and show that a substantial proportion of all all in some way or the other is being affected by that particular issue. So the bottom line is that irrespective of your areas of interest, it is ultimately some numbers that is giving you the answer, or that is giving support to your question, your interest, or your issue. For example, let's take these two public policy reports. I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen a lot of public policy report in last 1 or 2 months after getting the information that you have got admission here, or even before that, things that have interested you. For example, these are completely two different areas. One is from an organization which I think is in Cochin, Kerala, which is CPPR, and the left one is from there. And this one is talking about the issues of Kerala's fishermen. While the report that I'm showing you on the right hand side is from an organization called Research and Information System for Developing Countries, which is situated in New Delhi. And this is about water and sanitation and the achievement of the states in this area. So completely two different areas, two different from two different organizations. Now, why am I showing you these two? These are just examples, nothing else. So if I if you just open this, if you go ahead and download this at some point of time or any other such report and open this, you will see pages like this. Of course, this is page 7 and page 9 from this Kerala report, Kerala Fishermen's Condition Report. And what is there? Um, what is the characteristic of these two pages that catches your eye? One characteristic that definitely catches my eye is that if you just cursorily look through the left side page, that is page 7, there are almost 7 paragraphs there, but each paragraph is papered with numbers. It may be some rupee value, it may be count of something, but there are numbers. On the other hand, if you look on the right hand side, you can see that there are 2 graphs and there is also a table which again uses numbers, and the graphs are definitely based on numbers. Similarly, if I show you 2 such pages from this other report, the same characteristic is there. In page 13, you can see that there is a huge half of the page is covered by a table which has lots and lots of numbers. On the other hand, the page 26, you can see the entire page is almost filled with 2 graphs, and definitely these graphs are based on numbers. So again, we are coming back to numbers. So anytime we are trying to talk about public policy, we are always coming back to numbers. So why and how do we use numbers or quantitative analysis in public policy? We use these numbers to summarize the situation, to summarize the issue. Um, Generally, we cannot study everybody. For example, that fishermen study definitely did not study all the fishermen of Kerala. It picked up some of them, and we will discuss this in our course when we start from September, these issues. But the issue is that definitely that report did not go and study each and every fisherman that is there in Kerala. That is not even possible. Therefore, what they did is they collected information about some of them. And after that, whatever information they got, the first step was to summarize those. And that gave some idea, some credence to the situation. What is on an average? What is the situation that is happening? Now, once we have summarized the situation, we use these numbers, we use these quantitative tools to analyze the scenario. That is, what is the relationship between the different component parts? What is affecting what? If something is not affecting, then if the things are moving similarly or moving together, then what are those moving together parts? And once we have analyzed, then we use the quantitative tools to generalize these findings. That is, those few fishermen about whom information was collected, after that information was collated and summarized, and then it was analyzed, and we got some results. We want to generalize those findings about or to all the fishermen who are there in Kerala. uh, since it is about Kerala, we probably were not some generalizing it further beyond that. But sometimes for all India analysis, we try to generalize the results that we have got uh, to all India level as well. So the main thing is that using quantitative tools and data analysis and to establish a public policy problem or to even discuss a public policy issue, we need to summarize, we need to analyze, and we need to generalize. This is what we use these quantitative tools for. Now, what is the purpose of this particular course, or uh, how do I see you, or what I want you to be able to do with this course really? Now, you have already seen that there are reports which has numbers and quantitative summaries. But the issue is that just because there are numbers in some report does not make them the truth. So the goals, the twin goals that I have for this particular course are: first, I want you to become critical consumers of those type of reports. Just because there are numbers or some graphs shown in some report somewhere, whether it is private or whether it is government, it doesn't matter. You need to be, as budding public policy analysts and future public policy makers, you need to be trained. You need to learn how to be critical consumer of those numbers, of those quantitative analysis. So this is the primary, one of the two primary goals of this course. The other is, of course, to become honest producers of such quantitative results. So in your future jobs, you will be tasked with creating such reports, and in that case, what I want you to be or able to do is create this type of numbers, create this type of quantitative results honestly. So to become critical consumers, what you need to keep in mind, you need to understand the numbers, that is what those numbers reported by others are saying, that you first need to understand. You need to be aware of the situation, that is whether those numbers can make sense, that you need to be able to do. Because if you do not, if you don't even know what is roughly the size of, let's say, poor people in India, then I can just tell you some number and you will see, okay, this is in some report, therefore this must be true. But if you have the idea that, okay, India has around 135 crore people right now, almost roughly, and approximately out of that, approximately around 40 crore probably is poor. So if someone tells you that 80 crore people are poor in India, or some analysis reports such a number, then you can actually question that number, question based on what are they coming up with that 80 crore number. No, sorry, yeah, 80 crore number. So you need to be aware of the situation as well, and then only you will be able to question those numbers. So if you understand what those numbers are telling you, or what the numbers are being used for, if you are aware whether, first of all, that is a plausible number, and secondly, whether that particular number can be used to support the narrative that the author is trying to portray, and finally, then you can question such numbers, and only then you can become critical consumers of this all plethora of quantitative analysis that is out there. Similarly, to become honest producers, what you need to do is, or what you need to be able to do is, to understand what particular quantitative method and quantitative measure is appropriate to the narrative that you are trying to create. Be curious, of course, about the real world. What is happening? Why is happening? What is the magnitude of something? And then critical, that is, um, you need to be able to also question those particular measures that you are creating yourselves. Don't get wedded to your, don't be too close to the numbers that you create. You have a very critical responsibility here, that, or rather a very important responsibility, that you need to be able to create these numbers or these reports that are above question. Because when you are the producer, someone like you will be the critical consumer of those reports, of those numbers. So in such a situation, you are the first checkpoint for the numbers that you create, for the quantitative analysis that you do. Therefore, you need to be first critique of your own work, whether what you are doing is right or appropriate, is whether it is correct or not. You are the first checkpoint. So to be honest producers, you need to have these three qualities. You need to understand whether what you are doing is appropriate or not. That is, whether the measures that you are trying to create or whether the measures that you are trying to use, whether those are appropriate or not. You need to be curious about the real world, and you need to be critical about your own work. So these are the two main goals of this particular course. Now, I will try to, let me go back this slide once more. I will try to take care of this right hand side part a lot, and I will also um, assume that through understanding those appropriateness and criticality, you will also understand how to be critical consumers. But at the same time, we will definitely not have enough time in one semester to do everything. Therefore, I would strongly recommend that you, if you get time and if you can procure these books, go through this, at least these 5 books. These are not particularly used. I will not use them in this course, of course, but these 5 books are fantastic, and they will help you a lot in becoming critical consumers of those public policy reports. So the Darrell Hub book is almost, I think, 40 years old now. The Jewel based books are pretty new. The Damn Lies and Statistics, Damn Lies and Statistics and More, and Stat Spotting. All these books are fantastic. And this last one, which is by Levitin, A Field Guide to Lies and Statistics. So definitely you guys have heard the um, saying that there are 3 types of lies, damn lies, and statistics. But statistics gets a bad name because people try to use it inappropriately. So to put a stop to that, um, we are the checkpoint. So try to, if you get time sometime, try to collect these books and go through them in your leisure time. You will find a lot of useful uh, pointers and information of how to be critical consumers of statistics, graphs, and numbers. So now let me just give you 2 examples how the same statistics or same number can mean completely two different things depending on how it is um, written. Just read this sentence. Every year since 1990, the number of Indian children dying from malaria has doubled. Okay, very good. So that is probably the result of some analysis. Someone collected some data and reached this result. Very good. So I want you to um, concentrate on these 2 words, every year. In the next sentence that I will show you, I will just take these 2 words, every year, and instead of at the front of the sentence, I will put it inside. And the meaning of the 2 sentences, just because where I am putting these 2 words, every year, will change completely. The 2 sentences will mean 2 completely different things. So let me show you what is the next sentence. Since 1990, the number of Indian children dying from malaria every year has doubled. Now, these 2 sentences, just think a minute, these 2 sentences mean completely two different things. One sentence, um, given subject to where we actually started, one sentence is plausible Another sentence is most likely exaggeration of the situation. Can any of you just switch on your microphone and tell me which sentence is most likely to be an exaggeration and which sentence is plausible?
Hello.
Hello, yes. Who are you?
So
Please tell your name me first.
my name is Akilan. I'm joining you from Kanyakumari.
Okay, welcome. Tell me, which
Um,
sentence do you think is plausible and which one do you think is exaggeration?
I think the second one is plausible and the first one is exaggerated
Okay. Anyone else?
because the,
Okay, yeah, well, you are going to explain. Yeah, go ahead, please. I
yeah.
actually want to
Uh,
see if anyone says anything else. Um,
okay.
so I will stop you there. So let me see. Is there anyone else who wants to support your classmates' view or contradict it?
Yes, sir. I
Uh,
agree with Akilan.
you agree or you don't agree? Sorry, I could not hear properly.
I agree with him.
Okay, and you
Agree
are
with him. Aparna.
Aparna. Well, welcome to the program to both of you. Anyone else? Anyone who wants to contradict this particular viewpoint?
No, sir, I also agree with both of them.
Okay, very good. So I think we are in agreement here.
Yes,
Fantastic.
sir.
You guys all understand statistics. We don't even need this course anymore. So the semester is over. Fantastic. We can all go home. Anyway, that's not happening. You guys have to do the class. Anyway, you all three of you, and I think others who are waiting to say the similar things are absolutely correct. Yes, the first sentence is exaggeration, and the second sentence is plausible because as you can see that and I think that is what you were going to say in your explanation that if every year the number is doubling, then from 1990 to now, it should have become what 1990 to now it is 30 years now. So that is 2 to the power 30, uh, which is implausible. I mean, India doesn't have probably those many kids. So many times we see this type of sentences in writing which are patently wrong, where paying a little bit more attention paid by the author would have made it much better than what it is right now. So you guys need to keep your eyes open for other people writing stuff like this, the first sentence, and you also need to keep an eye open that you do not write things like this later on. So that is where this course and that is where this all of this quantitative analysis comes into picture. So quantitative analysis, it is not just about uh, crunching some numbers and creating some numbers. It is also about how we are using those numbers, whether we are using those correctly, and whether we are interpreting and writing those correctly as well. So don't be under the wrong impression that quantitative analysis is just about doing some calculation in either your calculator or some computer software and you are done. No, that is just the first step in quantitative analysis. As a result, this course will have two basic parts. One part is that understanding the theory, the logic, and the meaning of these statistical methods, and the other part is doing the calculations. And what I have understood uh, by talking to your seniors over the 4 years that I have been teaching here is that when you go for your winter internship or even for your first summer internship after your first year, Most of the organizations, unless and until those organizations send you to do field survey and stuff like that, most of them expect you to be able to do some number crunching, of course, because again, that is the starting point of quantitative analysis, right? So, and in those number crunching, the most ubiquitous tool that is used is Excel, because at the beginning level, every organization has access to Excel as part of the MS Office tools, and therefore, instead of any fancier statistical package, what you guys need to work with at the beginning level is Excel. Therefore, on one hand, in this course, we will learn how to do the calculations, what is the logic behind doing a calculation, why we do it, what is the meaning of the resulting numbers. And on the other hand, we will implement or we will use Excel to do those calculations for us. So the number crunching in this course will be done in Excel. I'm assuming that you all have access to Excel. So these are the two parts of this course. One is the two integral parts. There is no separating these two. Um, so so as I was telling you that there are two parts. That one is the methods and techniques part. That is the theory of statistics, why we do something that we do in statistics, and then by doing that we reach some numeric measures about the real world. That is the output of any quantitative analysis. So this creation of these numeric measures will be in Excel. Now, let me take a little bit time to talk to you about how to succeed in this new scenario that we are suddenly facing. All of you are fantastic students, very good students, from who have been trained to excel in face-to-face classes from your childhood till today. Most likely, I'm actually going out on a limb here, but I'm assuming that all of you have been trained or you went through the till very recently the official educational system that we have across the world, the main education system that we have, that is the face-to-face education system. So from kindergarten to your undergrad, or maybe if any of you have another master's degree and this is your second master's degree, in that case, in your up to your master's degree, you have been taught through face-to-face classes, and you have learned over the years how to learn in those face-to-face classes and how to excel in those face-to-face classes. But suddenly you are being thrown at the deep end due to this corona epidemic, and you have to do the first semester of your master's degree here online. So, and none of us, or rather most of us, are not trained to learn to be attentive, to excel in these online classes. So what do I think, how can you, because you have I think 7 courses this semester, how can you get most out of these 7 courses in the online format? I would not have spent any time on this if we were having a regular semester, but we are not having that. So I think there are 4 qualities that you need to master, you need to have to, even if you don't have 1 or 2 of these, you can master these, of course. We can all learn these qualities um, to excel in this online format. These 4 qualities. The first is persistence. So remember that there will be topics or areas in all of your courses, all 7 of your courses, some topic will be difficult for some of you. Don't get disheartened. You need to keep at it, as simple as that. You are at, most likely all of you are at your homes and you are not at campus. So you are not going to get the benefit of interacting with your faculty anytime you want. Of course, you are always welcome to send us emails and communicate with us. I will come to the communication part very soon. The other point is that you are also not going to get the benefit of peer learning that much. So what happens, as you have seen in your earlier campus or earlier college life, is that if you are not understanding something, one of your friend or classmate has understood that, and they are willing to kind of guide you to understand that. And you, in a group discussion or sitting together in a study group, you help each other in the learning process. But that will be much more limited now, because yes, there is all these social media sites where you can do communication. I think you guys probably can sit with each other through this MS Teams or Zoom or whatever other method you use to do study group or anything of that sort. Please don't forget study group. Go ahead and do this online study group, of course. That's my another suggestion. But even then, you will not get the benefit of this face-to-face discussion. So you yourself need to be persistent on this learning. The second is time management. Again, you are at home, you have all your household chores, um, and other than household chores, you also are distracted by many other things. But you need to manage your time, because you have to do 7 courses, you have to do the assessment and the different homeworks and stuff like that, assignments for these courses. Therefore, you need to have a very fixed schedule. It is, you are not going to get the benefit of living in a campus where you see your friends doing something, because one day from today you have to submit assignment X for course Z. That's not going to happen. You are sitting at your home where no one else, probably, unless and until your twin brother or sister or your cousin brother or sister living with you also doing the same course, you are the only person that you see is doing that. And in our daily, in the hustle of our daily life, this coursework might just become might just go to the back burner. But don't do that. Create a fixed schedule. Other than attending classes, you need to have your own fixed study time so that you can manage everything. The third is definitely motivation and independence. Again, I'm coming back to that, to the point that I was talking about earlier in under the persistence issue, is that you are not going to see others studying in front of you. There will be no one studying in the library for the same course. There no one in the hostel room studying the same thing. You are only alone in your house and studying these things, and therefore you need to be motivated. You need to be independent in seeking more knowledge. You need to be motivated to learn. Unless and until you have that motivation, then it becomes problematic, because there is no one, there is no peer pressure, there is no keeping up with the Joneses here, because there is no Jones around. And finally, communication skills. You need to communicate with, definitely with your peers, because you have to create study groups a little bit to help each other out, to know each other. Otherwise, it will be like random islands here and there. And also, you need to communicate with your faculty. When you have problem with some topic, when you need extra time, you need to communicate. And remember that we are all there to guide you through this process. We are there to teach you. So anytime we get your emails, we put priority to that, because we know that you are going to send an email asking us for help only if you need that help. Therefore, don't assume that we ever put your emails on the back burner. It sometimes, in our busy schedule, things go out of our mind, but I personally try to always reply your emails within 5-6 hours. However, uh, don't put the sentence, reply back immediately, reply back at the earliest, because that irritates us a little. We put all the importance that we should put to your communication. So you need to, when you communicate with your faculty, don't assume that we are not there. We are there. Therefore, you don't need to write that reply immediately or reply as soon as possible. We will reply as soon as possible. So anyway, these are the 4 qualities that you need to cultivate to be successful in this online system. So once you cultivate those qualities, I'm pretty sure all of you who have been excellent students throughout your lives in the face-to-face situation will also excel in this first online semester. And hopefully next semester we will see each other. So that's all for today from me. Please, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask.
You can use raise your hand option. Yeah, Pranav, please unmute yourself and switch on the video if you can.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. My question
Good
was
afternoon.
actually regarding how this government in particular is unable to produce certain vital numbers which are required to keep the governance running, so to say. Whether I talk of the unemployment data or shifting the calculation of the gross domestic product. So, what is your take on the fact that numbers can be played as and when by each government as they want to?
What do you mean by my take on that?
Your take on that, sir, keeping in mind that normally if we put numbers in the right manner, they won't lie. But in this case, the numbers haven't come in the first place. So, what can be
No,
the possible
not
reason?
necessarily. Not necessarily. Even the right numbers can be used to lie.
Okay.
If if the number is itself correct, but it can be interpreted and misused.
Mhm.
That's why I want you guys during your break or sometime to go through those books. So the
Mhm.
number may be correct on its own, but how it is being interpreted might be distorting the thing. That is one issue. But what you are talking about is that the are not being produced.
Yes, sir.
Um, well, that's why we have to depend not only on government statistics, but
Mhm.
other statistics for the time being.
Mhm. And sir, second short question was that by when would we be getting the reading list for the semester course?
That you will get couple of days before. The reading list means there are a couple of books only.
Okay.
So you will get that couple of days before your first class.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
welcome.
Anyone else? Ishan Mishriya. Please go ahead with your
Uh,
question and unmute yourself.
yeah, good morning, sir. This is Ishan. I wanted to know that, like, apart from Excel, are we also going to learn certain other softwares like R or SATA or Python for our data analysis course this semester or in probably next semester?
Not in this semester. This semester for statistics, I will use only, or I use only Excel, because that has a very specific purpose, and that purpose I explained to you earlier. But definitely there are all other these packages, and there is also the problem that in one semester there is never sufficient time to introduce more than one thing. However, I hope some of you will continue, will love, or rather, all of you will love statistics and want to learn more. Therefore, next semester means in the spring semester, I always offer this kind of the second, unofficially the second in the sequence, but that is actually an elective. So officially that is not in any sequence. The Applied Econometrics 1, which is the first course in the sequence, Applied Econometrics 1 and Applied Econometrics 2. The two courses I teach in this semester to your seniors, and one is for you, that is the first year MA Public Policy students in the spring semester. In that course, I introduce you to Stata. So not this semester. This semester it will be all Excel. But those
Thank
of
you,
you
sir.
who take econometrics, applied econometrics with me next semester, they will get to learn Stata.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Anyone else?
Good morning, good afternoon, sir. This is Shubham.
5 minutes left.
Yeah,
I'm saying five
sorry.
minutes left.
Yeah.
No, 5 minutes
So,
left
good
for
morning, sir.
good morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
tell me.
my question is, sir, are we planning to conduct this whole semester in online mode only, or are we waiting for any government instruction to start the campus and then we'll switch it to campus mode like that?
According to our registrar's latest email, we are
Mm-hmm.
waiting for government instruction. So if there is any change in government stance, the campus will open and you will be welcome to the campus. But that is what
Okay.
registrar sent informed us in his latest email.
Okay.
So it,
Thank
it,
you,
it,
sir.
it all depends on Haryana government.
Government. Exact. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wants to ask any question?
Anyone?
I don't think there is anyone who want to ask any other question.
Yep.
So I would like to thank you for your session.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you
Mani,
so
for
much.
organizing this.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello? Hello?